Hey, my name is Attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA. Specifically, we're going to be looking at D103 Post Filing. Learn about their vocational. Okay, so why do we learn about their vocational abilities? Why do we learn about their vocational activities? All right, that's kind of the question here. So first and foremost, there's two elements of the 5 elements that we use to look at disability that require us to look at their vocational abilities. Not only currently what they can do, but also in the past. Element 4, what types of jobs did they do within the past 15 years? Okay, so go back 15 years from whatever year it is right now, and those are the jobs that we're interested in looking at. Also, for the most part, we don't really care about jobs where they didn't earn much. If they earned a couple $100, maybe $700, $800, we don't care. We want to see at least, SGA for that year going forward. So, it could be $1,000, could be $1,200, could be $1,300, whatever. We want to see them at least earn SGA for that year from that job to even really consider it to be a job worth noting, that they spent time, learned how to do it, and yada yada. There's another thing you need to know. Element 5, as we talked about, was RTSW and unskilled. RTSW stands for relevant, transferable, skilled work, where we're taking skills from their past work and transferring it to other types of jobs that have skilled labor in them. Not the same job, but similar jobs that basically have shared skills. And then there's also unskilled work, which is the most simple work out there. And the claimant has to be able to, in order to be found disabled, not do their work that they did within the past 15 years, not do any transferable skilled work, and not do any unskilled work throughout the national economy. All right. We talk about skilled, unskilled. There's actually 3 categories. We talked a little bit about it before. Now we're going to get a little deeper. The 3 categories are unskilled, semi-skilled, and skilled. Okay, they go through basically numbers 1 through 9. They're called specific vocational preparations, SVPs is what everybody just calls them, but specific vocational preparations, SVPs. Basically, each number equates to a specific length of time that it took to train the individual to be able to properly do that job. So a 1 would be a short demonstration only. A 9 would be over 10 years to learn how to do that job, a rocket scientist. So a 1 would be a short demonstration, shovel, make a hole. 9 would be, how to do some microsurgery technique that's very difficult and requires years and years and years of schooling and yada, yada, yada. All right, so let's talk about this for a moment. Levels 1 and 2 are unskilled jobs. Levels 1 and 2 are unskilled jobs. Level 3 through 4 are semi-skilled jobs. Level 5 through 9 are skilled jobs. So there's a lot more skilled jobs than there are, in the numbers, rather, than there are of those, unskilled and semi-skilled. Because, we've got 5 to 9 versus 3 to 4 and 1 to 2. That doesn't necessarily mean there's not a whole ton of unskilled jobs in this book. I'm just saying that there's more numbers here to play with the skilled area. There are a lot of unskilled jobs in this book called the DOT Dictionary of Titles. Once again, they're all held in the DOT Dictionary of Titles. All right, let's go through these things. That way you have a better understanding of them. Level 1, unskilled, short demonstration only. Level 1, unskilled, short demonstration only, meaning it only took a short demonstration to show them how to properly do this job. There's a floor, there's a mop, go do magic. Level 2, anything beyond short demonstration up to and including 1 month. Okay, so we're talking about level 2, still unskilled. Remember, 1 and 2 are unskilled, 3 and 4 semi-skilled, 5 to 9 skilled. Anything beyond short demonstration up to and including 1 month. What we're talking about there is basically they've got 30 days to be able to learn how to do it. Level 3, semi-skilled, 1 month to 3 months. Level 3, semi-skilled, 1 month to 3 months. Level 4, semi-skilled, 3 months to 6 months. Level 4, semi-skilled, 3 months to 6 months. Level 5, skilled. Okay, remember, 1, 2, unskilled, 3, 4, semi-skilled, 5 through 9, skilled. Level 5, over 6 months up to and including 1 year. Over 6 months up to and including 1 year. Level 6, over 1 year and up to and including 2 years. Level 6, over 1 year up to and including 2 years. Level 7, over 2 years up to and including 4 years. Level 7, over 2 years up to and including 4 years. Level 8, over 4 years up to and including 10 years. Level 8, over 4 years up to and including 10 years. Level 9 over 10 years. Level 9 over 10 years. So there are some jobs out there that take over 10 years to learn how to do. And, they exist. And obviously these are super highly educated individuals that are doing these jobs, and hopefully well paid as well, because it took them 10 years of their life to be able to do those jobs. All right, so why do we learn about the vocational activities? We learn about, did they have the skill of using a hammer? Did they have the skill of intercommunicating with individuals? Did they have the skill of scheduling tasks? Did they have the skill of dealing with the public? Dealing well with bosses, following short instructions, detailed instructions, things like that. We were trying to understand what they could do. And the reason I put these videos before what's the 3373, what's the 3369, what's the 3380 in this whole system is because I want you to understand why we're asking all these questions. If we don't know what they can physically do, then we can't find them disabled. If we don't know what they could do back in the day and where they're at now, let's take Joe the plumber. Joe the plumber. Joe the plumber back in the day was doing his plumbing gig. He worked for 3 companies and he owned his own company. When he owned his own company, it increased his skill level because at that point then he knew how to calendar things, schedule things. He knew how to deal with the public and also his craft. His craft took so many years to be able to learn as a plumber, etc., etc., etc. So the bottom line here is, basically, we have to look at these things to see what they did. And now we have to question, okay, could Joe the plumber do these things now, or from the alleged onset date forward when we're claiming that the person became severely disabled? Well, if he's got a bad back with spinal issues and, he was in a car accident and has memory problems and he's lost gripping ability in one of his hands, then he probably can't be a plumber anymore. Because think about it, plumbers have to use tools for gripping, for moving, for whatevering. Plumbers have to be able to, stand, sit, crouch, stoop, quite a bit because they're getting in behind things. That's what plumbing is, going and looking at piping. They have to basically be able to, do a lot of functions that a person with spinal issues, memory loss, wouldn't be able to do because, they've got to remember, okay, this had a 3/8 fitting, this had a 1/4 inch fitting, this had this. We need to match copper and put a quick connect there and yada yada. They need to be able to have these functions and ideas at their fingertips when they go to the local store, or they have to be able to write it down. And not, necessarily every plumber is exceptional at writing skills. Most of them are today, but some of the older ones that we get, they don't have writing skills. And that's okay. It's part of the gig. It's part of the evolution of society. So, all right, that's why we learn about the vocational activities, because we want to know where they were. We want to know where they are now. We want to understand whether or not they can do what they did. If they can't do what they did, we want to see if there's other jobs out there that they could potentially do. Because if there are, then the judge is going to say, okay, you're not disabled because there are other jobs out there in the national economy that which you could do. But if there's no jobs, then they'll be found disabled. That's why element 5 is what I call the cleaver, because it's such a tough element to beat. Is there any job where you could earn SGA, like 8 hours a day? Is there any job in the national economy that which you could do? Is there any job if we move you to Alaska or Hawaii or California, whatever? Is there any job in Wyoming? That's tough to beat. I mean, is there any job in the national? Maybe this person could tie shoes for a living. Maybe this person could, mark, prices on things for a living. That's why it's the cleaver. Okay, maybe, step 4, can they do their past relevant work within the past 15 years? That one's not as bad or even close, because think about it. Can they do their past relevant work? Okay, so they were an amusement ride technician, and they were, let's say, a construction heavy machine operator. Well, okay, cool. So now they've got back problems. They've got depression problems. And they've been suicidal at times. They had Baker Acts in their claim. We don't want that person anywhere near amusement rides. We don't want that person anywhere near heavy equipment. Nowhere near that stuff. No. We don't want to. Think about it. So that's why, And I'm giving you simple, very black and white answers that you can see classic reasons why. But when you're actually doing this stuff, it's going to be a lot more gray room, because remember, every human is different. Every human is special. Nobody's equal. Nobody's, just this machine. I do this, da da da. We all have equal rights, which is very good. But nobody's the same. Not every claims it's all different. So you're going to have to use your brain, do analytical thinking, and figure things out, which is part of this whole why do we look into what their social activities were and what the vocational activities were as well. All right, that's D103 Post Filing. Learn about the vocational activities. I'll catch you at the next video. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.